Hey, all right. Ready to go live, Sloth?
All right, all right. Perhaps.
All right, you will be live in 3, 2,
Oh.
1.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I guess I'm here. I guess I'm here. All right.
I didn't do it.
It's fine. It's fine. it's how we roll. Hi. I guess I'm here. Yeah. I guess I would introduce myself, but yeah, my name's SoaringSloth. Today I want to run Deltarune all chapters, all bosses glitched, for Mid-Spring Speed Fling 2022. And I'm stoked to be here. This category is really fun. I really get to showcase everything Deltarune has to offer in this current point in time, and yeah, there's a lot to showcase throughout the run. So I guess whenever you're ready to start timer, I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, just give us a countdown.
All right, we'll count from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wait, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Hold up. I can fix this. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. So to start things off, I guess I should probably talk about why we're in Japanese opposed to English, and that's primarily because, well, Japanese is faster for one thing, but, one big difference in Chapter 1 compared to Chapter 2 is the fact that, we can actually mash on top of text to make it go faster, which, I mean, like, alright, that's a no-brainer. I mean, a lot of games allow you to mash over text, but in Chapter 2, by holding down C and X, you actually can only mash at a set rate of 15 text boxes a second. But in Chapter 1, you're just kind of able to mash on top of that rate. So for at least the first 30 minutes of the run, you are going to be hearing me mash quite a bit. Anyway, we don't like going to school, so we're immediately going back to bed to immediately pop up in the Dark World. And yeah, we're just on our merry way. Now, one important thing about this category is about Chris's movement. They don't like bumping into anything, and when they do bump into something, it immediately halts their movement for around a half a second, so we ideally don't want to bump into anything to maintain our speed. Got 2 quick puzzles over here. Anyway, we're reuniting with Susie right over here, who we totally met at the start of this run. She's not very stoked to be here, but, you know, she wants to get out of here. We want to get out of here. Hopefully we'll find a way out of here.
I do have a donation if it's a good time for it.
Oh, by all means.
We have $20 from A Bun saying, "What a stacked lineup. So much to look forward to. And did you know that Baby is the best monkey?" I was personally not aware of that. How about you?
I was not aware of that. I bet Baby's pretty cool. Yeah, we have a little bit of an auto-scroller here. Nothing really much we can do aside from avoid getting hit, but I guess this gives me a brief opportunity to talk about the battle system and Undertale. And in some scenarios, it's faster just to act rather than just simply defeating them. So, and in this fight, ideally, we're going to be attacking Lancer. I know, it's heartbreaking. Lancer's the coolest guy on the block. Look at his bike. But yeah. We're going to be wrapping up this fight in around 4 turns. Susie does a lot of damage compared to Chris, and on turn 3 here, we actually don't need to attack with Chris. We can actually just defend. Slightly faster because we don't have to go through that attack animation. And turn 4, we just defend again, and Lancer's just gone. Kablooey. Anyway, with that, Lancer is obviously gone, and Susie's just kind of like, you know, I'm not really having fun here, so I'm just gonna go on my own. But hey, we now have a green guy on our team, so. Anyway, we're heading into the Fields of Hopes and Dreams, and going forward from here, there's going to be several enemy encounters that we want to avoid. And like I said before, bumping is really not good for us. Bumping even once or twice will basically guarantee an encounter for us, and you'll see why in like the next couple of seconds, but this one's pretty easy to avoid. We have a bit of leniency, but these next ones, it's a pretty tight window, so. Yeah, bumping at all during like these like enemy skips is pretty detrimental. But what we picked up there is the top cake. For marathon's sake, for some harder fights coming along down the road, we will be picking it up, and it will serve as a full heal for our party. Anyway, we have a scripted enemy encounter right here. One thing I haven't yet to mention is the fact that you might notice me actually like getting really close to the enemy's attacks to farm for TP. In both chapters, grazing for TP slightly moves the fight faster, but it's very small. However, we do it anyway just because that stuff does add up over the course of an hour and a half run. Anyway, story-wise, Susie's not very stoked right now to be with us, but she can't get past the door without us, so she is quote-unquote joining our party. Spoiler alert, she will probably not be with us for long, but hey, we can beat up a checker dog. Here, we just want to attack again. Chris and Rousey are able to knock out one on their own, while Susie can just annihilate one on her own as well. And we can wrap up the fight in 2 turns. Again, defending when Susie can just knock out one is faster than just attacking by ourselves. Anyway, just like the category in, like, is titled, we are going to be fighting every single major boss fight in this run, and that includes both the hidden fights in Chapter 1 and 2. So we have to go out of our way to pick up the key pieces to unlock the Jevil fight in Chapter 1. There's a total of 3 key pieces throughout Chapter 1, and there's one here in the fields, one here in Forest, and there's going to be the 3rd one actually back here once we get to the Card Castle. Anyway, welcome to Checkerboard, home to probably my least favorite encounter skip. 2 bumps is all it takes to get Pawnman 1 right here. And thankfully we did not bump in at all, so. Anyway, Lancer here has a bucket. Obviously, we aren't able to really read anything that's happening in the story because it's a speedrun. But long story short, Lancer brings up a bucket trying to title our team name, but we obviously don't really care in the current moment. But there is some funny dialogue for those people that know the options. Ooh, that's really close. Yeah, I bumped a lot there, but Pawnman 2 is a little bit forgiving. You can bump, like, I think 4 times and still get out of there without an encounter, but I bumped quite a bit there. But anyway, we have a bit of a mini boss fight here. This is K Round. K Round does not play games, but we'll play a game anyway. Ideally, we want Susie to die in this fight, but if she doesn't, it's no big pushover. It just saves a little bit of time. And unfortunately, we're not getting that. Yeah, if we were able to kill Susie, like, before turn 3 right here, we could basically speed up 1 turn in the fight, which saves around 7 seconds, but yeah, after the turn 3, it doesn't really matter, so we're just gonna keep Susie alive. And that's just K round 1. Not really pushover at all. But yeah, as you probably saw, Susie still isn't stoked to be with us, so she decided to go join Lancer for a bit. So it's back to just Chris and Rousey. They're gonna be pulling some mischievous pranks while we're in the forest, but we're just gonna tag along with it. Oh yeah, and these, I guess, fire bars, to put it lightly, we don't really care about their hitboxes. It's just faster to go through them. There will be points and times throughout Forest here where I'm going to be taking a lot of damage, but we're going to be narrowly escaping with our lives, just because it's faster, but anyway, skipping that blocks over there. And these puzzles, I mean, since we're speedrunners, we just kind of know the combinations, but they're very straightforward. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so this guy, not really too bad. He likes reading the manual that we pick up at the very start of the game, that we totally picked up. And now we have a very important encounter skip right here. Blocks her. And we got through it. Yeah, we're also going to be taking a lot of damage here. And the second key piece will be down here. I want to be very careful with this Rabbick's movement, because that pathway you probably just saw is very narrow, and I can definitely get caught. There have been plenty of times where I've just been unable to actually get into this pathway while the Rabbick's coming back at me, so that encounter can, like, add, like, a minute to your run if you're not careful. But yeah, that gives us just enough health to really get past all of that, and one more hit is all it takes for us to get a game over here, so we're gonna be careful. But anyway, we're now gonna be building something. This plays a very small role in Chapter 2, but basically, depending on the head we pick, it will influence how much damage we can do in the final fight, and the most optimal head to pick is the flame head. I'll explain more on that once we get to that point in the run, but just know that the flame head is the most optimal head to pick. Although there is a funny option to make an entire duck robot, and I was very tempted to for this marathon. But I want to go for speed today. I'm choosing speed. Anyway, we're in this maze right here. Rousey and... oh, not Rousey. Lancer and Susie really don't know their way around the place, so we basically have to go through the direction that they're not going to get through it, which is kind of comedic its own right. But yeah, just like that, we get out of there, and we're now going to be fighting the both of them. This fight is not really too concerning, but it does involve a lot of acting. And ideally, we want to basically bring Lancer over to our side. Show him how cool we are. On turn 3, though, Susie's going to be like, alright, stop taking my friend away. So, we actually have to put Susie to sleep. There we go. Obviously, grazing is important. There we go. Just like that, that's done. But yeah. Lancer and Susie have a moment here. Both of them rejoin our party. And now we're going to be going through what is probably around 2 minutes of just mashing. So, if there's anything our host wants to read, now is the perfect time.
I'm afraid we do not have any more donations, but we would like to give a shout out here. LPAV, we have a special thanks for them for providing the PVMs, projectors, and cameras for the marathon since 2017. LPAV has been Minnesota's trusted video and audio vendor since 2003, and having worked with companies such as Mountain Dew and Microsoft, you can trust LPAV will do it right the first time. Please support them by checking out their eBay store, which is in our Twitch bio, or you can type !LPAV in chat.
With all that mashing away, basically, Lancer has second thoughts on tagging along with us, only because, for story reasons, we probably will be fighting his father, but basically, Lancer sends the King's Men towards us, and we basically have to run away. But yeah, spoiler alert, we get caught, because we're just not that fast, alright? We're just not that fast. But, hey, there's a lot of cool things in the room. We got moss to eat, got a crack, and we got an iron shackle that we'll be picking up. Susie's in a different cell than us, though. But thankfully, she can break out because Susie's just built different. Anyway, Susie gets out of her cell, and she hears a voice from the other side. And lo and behold, it's probably going to be somebody that decided to backstab her. The very blue round boy. But yeah, Susie's not very happy about what happened just 90 seconds ago. So they're gonna have a bit of a fight. This fight is scripted, and there's not really much we can do at all during it, but we can graze for the first 3 turns, and like I said before, grazing does save small increments of time, and for some odd reason, in this fight alone, grazing actually saves a lot more time than it would normally. Yeah, another thing, getting hit at all basically makes you unable to grace for TP for like a couple seconds, so I'm not doing a very good job of showcasing my gracing skills, but you know. 7 to 8% is not too bad. Anyway, after turn 3, all of Lance's spade shots basically will stay away from us no matter what we do. So it's mostly just holding down C and X until the fight is over. But yeah, as turns goes on, Lancer shoots less and less spades, and it's a little sad. I love the guy. But thankfully, on the final turn, Susie does not land the final blow. In fact, she spares Lancer. She doesn't have the guts to kill somebody as cute as him. But yeah, they talk it out. They're happy. Lancer's gonna try talking to the king. Maybe convince him that we're not such bad people, but obviously, for category's sake, we're not going to be worried about the plot for at least a little while, because we actually have to go fight a hidden boss. And for those that don't know the hidden fight of Chapter 1, it is a funny jester named Jevil. Jevil is a pretty... What's the right word to put it? Well, he's very unpredictable. But obviously, me being a speedrunner, we have come to learn his attack patterns down to, well, you know, I'm not very good with words, if you guys haven't noticed, but I know the fight. But in order to get the final key piece, we actually do have to go interact with the door he's locked in. And once we interact with him, we have to go back to the fields to go talk to this one lone shopkeeper named Seam. He'll give us the final key piece, and we'll have to go repair it at the bake sale. Now, you might think backtracking throughout everything we've been through so far might take a while, but this game is nice enough to give us a fancy-looking door that can just take us to each distinct location in Chapter 1. Anyway. We grab the final key piece, and we're just going to head directly to the bake sale through the special door. And this funny fellow will repair the key piece for us, alongside the top cake we picked up, because Susie was, well, she took a big bite out of the cake, so it needs repairs as well. Anyway, we're now fully equipped to go stop Jevil ourselves, and ideally we're going to wrap up this fight in 13 turns. But if any one of our party members dies throughout this fight, it will probably take a lot longer, so for my sake, I'm probably going to do my best to keep quiet, just so I can get through this fight. But we do have the top cake that should help lighten the blow, should things go south. But anyway, funny clown man. Oh yeah, we're also going to be acting a lot for this fight, so... Alright, that's fine. There we go. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. We can't end the fight without Rousey being alive, so I'm actually gonna have to sit here for a couple extra turns.
Well, if there wasn't bad marathon luck, there wouldn't be any luck at all.
True. Ooh, I think we're actually gonna be going through ultimate attack. That's fun. Ultimate attack is really slow, but we'll manage. We'll manage. It's for the marathon. There we go. The clown has calmed down and we're out of here. But, yeah. That fight is very unpredictable and it's definitely taken me a lot of practice to really nail down. But, even with something like Top Cake, all it takes is a couple hits for things to go wrong, so it's best just to adapt to it and just go on. Anyway, we're going to be doing a Titan counter skip right here. And up in the next room is probably the most complex puzzle in all of, well, video games in general. We simply have to push one block. I know. Exhilarating. Anyway, we gotta fight against some head happies here. Nothing too extraordinary here. I was trying to set myself up to hopefully clear this up in 2 turns, but we unfortunately did not get a crit with Susie, which I also actually haven't talked about. Just like an Undertale, this game does have a system that basically allows you to kind of time your hits for potential crit damage. But it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. It definitely takes practice. And in that fight, I needed to land both crits with Susie to be able to 2-turn that fight while sparing the other 2. But no worries. Anyway. We are going to be hitting the save point up here to restore our health real quick, and stopping by the shop to pick up one important item called the Brave Axe. This, alongside the Iron Shackle we just picked up, is going to boost the attack power of Chris and Susie by quite a bit. It's going to be important for the final fight in Chapter 1 against the King, where we need to take him down in under 10 turns. And we'll be given a couple of tools alongside what we just bought. There is a move that is unlocked during the final Chapter 1 fight called Red Buster, which costs us 60 TP, but it deals a lot of damage. We're gonna have to be basically alternating between Red Bustering and just attacking with everybody and grazing TP in between turns. But we also need to land a couple of crits during the fight as well, just because despite what we were supposed to do during the fight, we can't wrap up the fight in 10 turns unless we score enough crits. We don't need to score many because of the items we bought, but a couple of Susie crits will get us to that threshold. Anyway. Lancer and his father have a moment. Obviously, the king is not very stoked to see us, but we're gonna show him who's in charge around here. Turn 1 is gonna be spent unlocking Red Buster, and the next following turns are just gonna be all-out attacking. Acting is not viable for this fight, in every sense of the word. Red Buster does consume the action of both Chris and Susie, though, so you do have to be careful with what you do here. Obviously, defending with Rousey here is just better than actually attacking with Rousey, just because you get 16 TP from defending. And obviously, with that extra TP, we can just add another Red Buster in the next turn, so. But we do need to get one Rousey solo during our Red Busters as well, so we're going to be attacking with Rousey this next turn when we Red Buster. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, one final Red Buster. And that is the final fight in Chapter 1. We're going to be mashing text for a good 5 minutes here, but this does give me... Thank you. This does give me a couple of minutes to actually talk about the differences in Chapter 2, because I feel like I definitely have done a poor job of explaining some aspects of this run, so this at least gives me enough time to explain that. But basically, just like the category I'm running says, I am running this category with glitches, but you probably have noticed I haven't really been using any glitches throughout Chapter 1. Well, that's entirely because Chapter 2 is where all the glitches are, and there's quite a number of them. The first thing you'll probably be seeing the moment I enter Chapter 2 is a concept called wrong warping. Basically, when I exit a room, upon starting up a new save file, I have a very small window to input a different direction than the direction I'm heading in. Like, for example, like, you know, if I'm heading right, upon entering the loading zone, I can input left. In doing so, the game gets confused. Confused to the point where it doesn't know where to, like, put you in the next room. So it just puts you in the default position the room has, which most of the time is where we're supposed to be entering anyway, but other times, it actually spawns us in different locations entirely, sometimes being in the center of a room, or even, like, you know, somewhere else entirely. And with it, we can actually bypass, certain puzzles and even just save, like, buttloads of time. But the drawback of it is the fact that we only get this state upon booting up our save file, and through a couple of certain cutscenes, so the only times when we'll be really abusing wrong warps is when there's a save point nearby us and a certain segment of the run that we can really bypass. So we'll also be abusing text within, like, I think 6 minutes into Chapter 2 with a skip called Door Overflow. This was found back in January, and it basically allows us to go anywhere within Chapter 2. However, because we still need to fight every single boss within this category, we aren't really able to warp to the final part of the game. It will save us a lot of time, though. Anyway, I think that's everything I need to cover for Chapter 2, but outside of that, yeah, we sealed the fountain. We're heading back home because we're really tired. And doing so will basically allow us to hop right into Chapter 2, so. And upon going to bed, I'm immediately allowed to close my game and reboot it up. And we can just head directly into Chapter 2 with our Chapter 1 save file. And for my sake, because I am terrible at menuing, I'm actually going to swap back to English and resume our save file. Because despite the 2 items we did pick up in the equipment menu in Chapter 1, we're actually going to be picking up a couple other things here. So, not right away, but it personally just helps me because, like I said in Chapter 2, we don't have to mash anymore. just holding down C and X allows us to basically, well, it matches for us at a set rate, but we can't mash over it, so what we have here is what we get. But yeah, as you can see, I had wrong warp state at the very start of Chapter 2 here, and while we technically did start, like, you know, where we're supposed to be, it did push us up a little bit. And doing that, like, right as you're entering a loading zone, like, the first time, it does add a lot of time saved to your run. Now, not every room is like that, but I mean, like, it's applicable here, so we do it. Anyway, we have an encounter with some werewires here. With the current build I have set up here, if I can crit with both party members here, we can actually two-turn this fight. And I unfortunately missed one crit, so we're going to be going into our third turn here.
All right. Well, while you're switching to Chapter 2, we do not have any more donations yet, but I wanted to see if it's okay if I mention some of our incentives coming up.
Oh, of course.
All right. So for our Hello Kitty roller rescue run, you have the ability to pick the clothes worn during the run by Hello Kitty. Right now, denim is winning with $30. We also have an option for the swimsuit. In our Super Monkey Ball run, you have the choice of monkeys. Right now, Baby is in the lead. Then we have Ai, Gon Gon, and Mimi. And for our Sonic the Hedgehog 2 run, we've got the choice between Knuckles and Sonic. And given that Knuckles is currently winning, I don't think he needs Sonic's power.
Yeah, heading into Chapter 2 here. Not really too much here. We have this new mechanic with the teacups, but it's nothing too flashy. Just hit the up arrow orbs, and you just go higher. And thankfully in Chapter 2, enemy encounters are a lot more forgiving. We don't really have to narrowly dodge anything. So, nothing to worry about over there. But yeah, in Chapter 2, we have a new antagonist, the Queen. She's a character, all right, with a lot of very, you know, I'm terrible at describing this, but she has a lot of comedic moments within Chapter 2. I definitely got several laps through my first run of this game. And even though you can't see the text throughout this run, there is going to be several points in this run where, like, you probably are going to, like, raise an eyebrow, too. Anyway, we're playing Punch-Out with the Queen. Consider it a mini-boss fight, but all we really have to do is just spam Z. She will, like, throw, like, a couple of new attacks at us after, like, she hits half her health, but it all just boils down to spamming Z. Anyway, we obviously take her out. She destroys the machine, supposedly, and walks off. But yeah, we're gonna be heading into the door overflow here. To a very funny exploit. I can basically line myself up here and talk to this NPC if I can get close enough. Well, being close enough to the door. No, that's not. That's too far. Oh, come on. I think that's close enough. All right. But yeah, basically we buy 400 bagels, quote unquote. And within the text right up here, we have like a very small window to interact with the door. Like that. And basically, we can overflow the text to basically warp directly to Trash Zone. This skips roughly 5 minutes in our run. It is one of the largest skips within this category. And if you were to play any other category than this, you would actually warp directly to Mansion and save roughly around 20 minutes. It basically eats out around 70% of what you would see in Chapter 2. in any other category, but here, we actually still have to go fight Spamton, which is roughly more than halfway into Cyber City, so it isn't even worth backtracking once we fight him, but yeah. We thankfully don't have to do the second half of Cyber City, or Cyber Fields, which has an RNG fight, which any person who has run this game will probably tell you that they do not like that fight, and I'm one of those people as well, because, at least before Door Overflow was found, this category was a lot more unforgiving to runners, just because you could finish the entirety of Chapter 1, and immediately lose your run the moment you head into Chapter 2, but thankfully we don't have to deal with that anymore in Glitched, so. Anyway. We have one enemy encounter right here. Just hugging the wall basically skips it, though. The one thing I have yet to mention, though, that's different between chapters 1 and 2, is, obviously we're alone right now, and, we're going to be having a new party member for our entire duration in Cyber City. Noelle is a very interesting character in the fact that she has one attacking move that costs only 16 TP, but deals a lot of damage. It honestly rivals Susie's Rude Buster, and that costs around 50 TP. And we're not even talking about Red Buster, which costs us 60 TP, but we're basically able to do a lot of damage with Noelle, but it's a shame we don't really use it that much in this category. It will play a role in one fight, though. Anyway, we just picked up the pink ribbon right there. It allows us to get more TP from grazing in battles, and it is going to be important for one fight later on. It should be good enough, yeah. Yeah, the pink ribbon will make our life easier. We have another cutscene right up here. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really done a great job explaining a lot of things in this run, but I can at least say, within the context of the story right now, the Queen doesn't know where Noelle is, and Noelle is kind of her prisoner. But Noelle is basically able to escape the Queen's grasp by putting a box on her head, and the Queen is basically making a truce with us right now to find Noelle. But we're obviously not giving her any hints that Noelle is with us. But Birdly, on the other hand, who we totally have met prior to this, is on the Queen's side, trying to find Noelle as well. And is also just trying to get the Queen's favor in everything, because Birdly is perfect. Either way. The Queen leaves, Noelle's still in our party, and we're about to do our second set of wrong warps. This next set of wrong warps is going to be pretty important. It allows us to skip one puzzle coming up, and can save roughly around 20 or 45 seconds. Yeah. Reloading the save state there gives us wrong warp state, and we're basically just going to be wrong warping for the next couple of rooms. There we go. Alright. This is a puzzle, but it's not the puzzle I'm talking about. This puzzle we have to do no matter what, but it is possible for this puzzle to be pre-solved, which I've had happen a couple of times, but unfortunately we did not get that here. But yeah, we basically use this puzzle to our advantage to get Noelle over that electrical trap, and she basically unlocks the puzzle for us. There we go. We're gonna slowly walk through this cheese maze because cheese is deadly. Don't eat cheese. I assure you. It can harm you. Anyway, one more final wrong warp here. And that gets us through M3S, the third mouse puzzle. If we were to fail one wrong warp there, we would have to sit through that puzzle for around 45 seconds, and it is not fun. Primarily because it is a little bit RNG based. But we're now in the Birdly 2 fight with Noelle, and like I said with Noelle's Ice Shock, it deals a lot of damage, and playing smart there on the first turn basically boosts her Ice Shock damage by a lot. So as you can see, it does a lot of damage and almost rivals Root Buster. Yeah, we're spending the next 3 turns just Ice Shocking and attacking with Chris, and Birdly will be knocked down in this next turn. And that is Birdly. Not a big pushover, but his attack patterns can catch you off guard if you aren't paying attention. Anyway, we have another encounter with the Queen. She obviously still can't see that Noelle is wearing a box, but we're all gonna hop in a car because we all really don't like Birdly. Birdly's kind of a laughingstock in this chapter, but whatever. I personally like Birdly. Anyway, we go on a bit of a card ride. This is an autoscroller for like the next 30 seconds, but there is this funny thing you can do with the car by holding left and right arrow keys. And basically you can just kind of bounce the cars off of your car. And it really doesn't do anything, but it is funny. It is funny. Especially when you just let go and just... yeah. And the funny thing is that, like, if you do that early, and, like, actually run over some of the cars, they'll just start running away from you, and I don't know. It's funny. It's funny, at least for me. Anyway, for plot reasons, there is a traffic jam here, and the only way to get it to go away is by hitting that traffic sign. But we have to go through this dark alleyway by ourselves, and lo and behold, it's Spamton, your favorite 1984 salesman. We do actually have to fight this guy in order to unlock the hidden fight in Chapter 2, but we can't kill him, so we're gonna be making a couple deals with him to basically make him our friend a bit. It do be kind of a banger. Anyway, after that fight, Spamton's like, alright, you're kind of cool. You should come back to my shop, but only come alone. We will be going back to his shop later to pick up a specific item for... or at least a specific item to unlock the hidden fight. Yeah, we hit the traffic sign. They're able to get through with the car. The car explodes, and we're back to square one with just Chris and Noelle traversing the city. But Noelle's going to be going on a bit of a tangent here, and there's not really going to be much going on in the run, so you are free to talk about whatever if there is any donations.
Well, I do not have donations at the moment, but I would be happy to talk about why we're actually raising this money. So we are supporting Save the Music, a nonprofit charity. Save the Music's mission is to help students, schools, and communities reach their full potential through the power of making music. As one of the leading music foundations in the United States, they support their partner communities by donating instruments and musical technology, providing support services for teachers, and advocating for music education. To learn more, you can visit savethemusic.org. And I'd also like to give a shout out to our Japanese restreamers. Midwest Speed Fling 2022 is being restreamed in Japanese by our friends over there at their Japanese restream channel. You can find their stream at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. We've worked with them for the last several marathons, and we're very grateful for all the work they do to bring these marathons to a larger audience.
Alrighty, with that cutscene out of the way, Noelle is done talking, and in the next cutscene, the queen is obviously still looking for Noelle, but obviously she still does not get the hint that she is wearing a box over her head, but hey, she gets a prize from a carnival game, so she doesn't want it though, so we're going to be giving it to Noelle, to basically reveal her to Susie and Rousey, and yeah. We're going to be one happy family for at least a short period of time. Although, we technically aren't a party of 4, in terms of battle. It's technically back to the original trio with just Noelle tagging along, so Noelle has officially left our party. Yeah, she's gonna step on that switch for us so we can go hit this other switch over here. We do have an enemy encounter. This one's pretty straightforward, though. We just have to get hit by an ambulance. That is literally it. But we get to spare them afterward. We got a couple more puzzles coming up here, but they're all pretty simple. It's mostly just get mouse from point A to point B, but yeah, I really don't have much else to say. Anyway, here we need to collect 20 mice, and through the power of teamwork, I'm basically maneuvering around to pick up all 20. Although, I have always thought for some odd reason, maybe one of these days I will not move at all and somehow manage to get all 20, but I have yet to experience that, and I hope it's actually possible, because I think it'd be pretty funny. Anyway, with 20 mice in the bucket, we're gonna pour it over here and unlock the bridge. And we're gonna politely return the bucket. Yeah, but just like that, we're at the Queen's mansion, but unfortunately, Noelle isn't wearing her cardboard box, so Noelle's jig is up, and she gets captured alongside Chris and Susie. And Birdley did not like that, so Birdley's getting captured as well. But because the Queen only had 3 cages, Rousey's just here, and free. We'll be seeing him later, but just like Chapter 1, we're back in prison, but thankfully, things are different now. Lancer's just in our pocket, and he's just able to break us out by typing L in the chat. But yeah, the special thing about Chapter 2 is that it establishes something that honestly I'm a little sad about. and it's the fact that Darkners from different chapters might not be compatible in other Dark Worlds, which is like the realms we're traveling in, and Lancier is unfortunately incompatible with this world, and is kind of turning into stone. But he's here for a short period. And while that is happening, Birdley is, well, he's trying to be a smart guy, but he's not really doing a good job. We're kind of solving the puzzles without him. After the third puzzle, though, he's just gonna be like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not that much of a smart guy, but you know what? Maybe I can do better. And he'll be joining our little squad for a little bit. Not as a party member, but he's gonna be trying to help out behind the scenes.
Maybe the real Deltarune was the friendships we made along the way.
Yeah. There's some funny dialogue if you actually shine the blue light on Birdley. But obviously I forgot I was holding down C and X, so I actually skipped over it. But just know, if you haven't played this game, maybe that's something you can do on your run. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, Birdley has a moment here. Birdley will say 1 out of 5 random words, all ranging in text length. The shortest word he'll say in English is smart, and the longest word he'll say in English is intelligent. Ideally, we want smart, which is what we got here, but I've had many runs, like, where I've gotten intelligent, and it just adds, like, 3 to 4 seconds. It's not, like, that big of a deal, but it's kind of a meme in the community, so a little funny to point out. Anyway, a couple steps further, and we're actually reunited with Rousey, who is kind of wearing a tuxedo now. Looking a bit dapper. He also talks about, like, why Lancer isn't compatible in this world, but we're obviously skipping through a lot of text, so we aren't paying attention that much, or we aren't paying that much attention to it. Words are hard. But yeah. Obviously, with this full squad back together, we are actually finally going to be heading back to the trash zone to go meet up with Spampton to go pick up a certain item that will unlock a special door within the mansion. This item is called the Key Gen. And yeah, there is a basement within the mansion that we need to go access that holds an item called the Empty Disc. We need to go pick that up and bring it directly back to Spampton, but before we do that, we're actually going to be heading back to Cyberfield to go pick up a couple of items for the Queen fight. Obviously, like at the end of Chapter 1, we bought the Brave Axe on Susie, and here we're actually going to be buying the Mecha Saber and Auto Axe for both Chris and Susie. It's going to be boosting their attack by a lot, and it's going to make us able to wrap up the Queen fight in 6 turns, which is pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Anyway, we're able to damage boost through that, and you might be noticing there's a lot of pots here. Breaking any pots normally will enrage the swatchlings in this area, and yeah, you'll probably have an encounter or two, but we're able to basically walk up to that line, break a pot, and re-enter and exit the room to despawn all of them while just kind of running through all that. But we also have this funny fellow that if we answer all their questions correctly, you can just enter the fight and spare them immediately. So, otherwise that fight would take a minute. Anyway, walking through a bit of traffic here. Walking along like the very left side of this doesn't spawn the cars following you, so you don't have to even worry about that. Oh, there we go. Heading that just unlocks a hidden pathway over here, which is where we'll be using the Key Gen. And this unlocks the basement. The basement has our final set of wrong warps, and they're very high risk, high reward. Or, yeah, high risk, high reward is the right word. So I'm going to be hitting the save point down here, and we're going to be rebooting our save file. We don't really start saving time until the 3rd or 4th wrong warp, so it's really important that we land these. There we go. We got the first one. Yeah, in this room, we're going to be taking the teacups down to a very, very low area. And anyone who's played this game casually knows how hard this set of teacups is. But I am confident in my ability to no-hit this, but don't hold me up to it. Don't hold me up to it. I have a habit of jinxing myself, so I'm going to knock on some wood here. You know. Alright, we'll activate the switch right here, which will unlock a electrical barrier at the start of where the save point was. And that will get us to the area where the empty disc is. There we go. Yeah, hopefully if I land these wrong warps, we'll be zooming through a lot of the basement right here. Oh. There we go. And we just picked up the empty disc right there. Normally we'd be walking here for like 30 seconds, but thanks to the magic of wrong warps, we're just kind of able to zoom through the entirety of the basement and zoom right back up to where the basement entrance is. If I... Oh, no. I guess we're not. We're walking. All it takes is one failed wrong warp to lose the state, and it takes around roughly 10 seconds to go out of your save file from a save point and reboot up like your save. But we got enough time saved there. We'll take it. Yeah. We're now going to head back to Trash Zone and give him the empty disc, and we're going to bring the empty disc right back where we found it. And that will start the hidden fight in Chapter 2, also known as Spamton Neo. Spamton Neo, well, it's an interesting fight, solely because, while I don't think it's harder than Jebel, there is a certain exploit that makes the fight a lot harder, but simultaneously a lot easier. And I am very stoked to showcase it here. Basically, to sum it down, if anyone is familiar with the Metaton fight in Undertale, they are probably aware of how that fight has a mechanic where if you press Z, you're basically able to shoot projectiles out of your heart. This fight has that too. However, the main difference here is that Z and Enter serve the same purpose in the game, which is just fire in the fight. When I hold down Enter and let go, it allows me to shoot a charge shot. And when I hold something down and Enter and just spam Z, it allows me to shoot infinite charge shots. That breaks this fight immensely, and I'm gonna be putting my phone on my numpad enter key just to showcase it here today. In a later patch, though, Toby didn't like it, and while he did keep it in, he also made the fight a lot harder for people who use this exploit. So, Chris and Rousey cannot take one hit in this fight, while Susie can take two. But the game is fortunate enough to give us a free heal by pressing F1, so if somebody goes down, we do have it, despite not having to top take anymore. Anyway, let me show you how a big shot does it. That was probably the one free hit I could have taken, but this fight is practically over. The last, like, 2 turns are basically just tomfoolery. We do go through his final attack, which, funnily enough, is also a joke, but... There we go. And just like that, that is the Spam to Neo fight. Overall, pretty easy if you know the patterns with the exploit, but it definitely took a bit of practice for me when I first initially picked up this game. Doing the fight without the exploit is also pretty difficult, so definitely not something to brush over your shoulder. But yeah, doing that fight gets us the Deal Maker, and this is the perfect time to equip everything we have gotten up to this point. So, Mecha Saber on Chris, Auto Axe, and Deal Maker on Susie. And we're going to be doing our second set of Wrong Warps here to get all the way back up. And yeah, thanks to the fact that we Wrong Warp up here, this cutscene plays out a little weirdly. We're actually outside of where we were supposed to be, so we got to, like, Wrong Warp back inside. So it's a little funny. No, I failed it. But yeah. With that out of the way, there's not much left of the run. We basically just have to make our way up to the final fight of the Chapter 2. Which is just... Well, it's Queen, but there's 2 phases to it. I guess I can finally touch upon the fact that the head we chose in Chapter 1 is going to be playing a role in that fight. And depending on the head you choose, your special attack within that final fight changes. The Flame Head gives us the most damage in that fight, so that's why we pick it. But I feel like I do have to shout out the funny option of the Duck Head, which, while it is technically the worst option you could pick for a speedrun, it does give you a lifesteal effect alongside some squeaky noises whenever you hit the Queen, so, I don't know. It's a little funny. It's a little funny, but... Anyway. We have an encounter with Mouse Wheel here. This is an RNG-dependent fight. We ideally want to do this in 2 turns, but depending on how many mice we catch here, it is possible we will be doing this in 3 turns. Turn 1 was pretty good, though. Yeah, we're just barely short. I think we're 2% off, so... Yeah, if we had that turn 2, we would have been out of here, but... Alright, that unlocks a door on the right-hand side of this room. And the Queen is going to make us solve a quote-unquote puzzle here. That is, find the key in the very numerous amount of dishes here that are all empty. But thankfully, there is a dog down here that will allow us to get through a lot of them very quickly. The key is always set to show up at the same spot, but we have to, like, go through a number of these before it can, like, actually spawn. So... yeah, we break a number of those. This guy brings us up here. And now we're going to be doing a glitch called Swatch and Despawn glitch. Hopefully I can do this right. Yeah, there we go. They just kind of go flying, and you just kind of bask in its glory. If I were to fail that, though, we'd be in an encounter for like 30 seconds, so... Birdley decides to have Susie go down this path, and we're basically going to be separating in parties of 2. Chris and Rousey over here are going to be heading into the final sub-area of Mansion, also known as Acid Lake. And we're going to be seeing a familiar face here. Someone who's not very good at making puzzles. But one thing we need to do during our very slow descent here is hitting all these houses. This is going to give us a lot of TP in an upcoming fight here against this mysterious fellow. This fight does have an element of RNG, though. It is possible that within the little minigame in the fight, he can arrange his houses in a way where we can't trap him in right away. So, if we do get a bad pattern, we'll be wrapping up the fight in 3 turns, but otherwise, it's a very quick fight, wrapped up in 2 turns, so. Now, we hit every house here. Very nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a giant hand in our way, so we gotta go get that hand out of our way. Oh. There we go. Oh. The houses are playing games with me. Yeah, very simple puzzle here. We just only have to hit 2 houses and we're already on our way. And there'll be a switch in this upcoming room that will drag the hand that was oh so gloriously blocking our swan. And now we can continue on our path. Yeah. So obviously, since we skipped a couple of cutscenes at the beginning of Chapter 2 by going to bed, we didn't really get to see a couple of party members come along with us. One of them was Lancer, obviously, who was just magically in our pocket, but another one of them was, funnily enough, Rose Card from Chapter 1, the puzzle master that really doesn't know how to make very complex puzzles, but he is writing our creation from Chapter 1. By playing his game right here, we have the potential to trap him here in 2 turns, which thankfully we got the right pattern, so. And just like that, that's the rules card fight. Really kind of a joke. I've had this fight, like, catch me off guard a couple times, though, just because I usually enter this fight with very low health, but honestly, not that hard. Not that hard. It's simply a minigame at its core, but anyway, we're heading into the final segment of the run. All that's left are 2 more big fights, and what is arguably the most influential skip in the game. But before that, because it's a marathon, I'm gonna hug Rousey, because Rousey's a good boy. He's getting a very good effort this run.
A hug.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't love him? But yeah, we will now be performing Lesbian Skip, quoted by Shay from AGDQ 2022. Arguably the most influential skip in the game. Saves 3 minutes. And now
let's go lesbians.
Yeah, let's go lesbians. And yeah, the queen fight it isn't hard, but just like the king fight, the number of crits will dictate how fast we finish this fight. And it's really important that Chris and Susie land a couple of them here, because we want to wrap up this fight in 6 turns, but that can potentially not happen, so. After a couple turns, though, she will be bringing up, like, her shields, which we can't deal any damage to her while she has them up, but because we're speedrunners, we're going to break them down immediately. Ooh, none there. All right. Red Buster takes down the first shield right away. There we go. Gotta throw another Red Buster right here. Break down the second shield. Now, I think we have enough damage to end the Queen next turn, but for safety measures, we need that Rousey solo. Ooh, we're actually short. Yeah, I was a little worried about the number of crits we had in that turn 1 and turn 2, but I think we just were shy from it. So we're gonna have to be, yeah, she's at 2% health. I think we were 1 crit off, so we're gonna have to break through this third shield here. We don't have any TP though, so we can't break it through that fast. So. Gonna have to go through ultimate attack. Which really isn't that ultimate, it's just impairing our vision. But we're built different. Anyway. Yeah, that is the Queen fight. But like I said, this is not our final form. There's still more to this. Funnily enough, just like our... Well, I guess our second encounter with her, not our first. We're gonna be ending our run with the giant Punch-Out match. It's a little bit different than our last encounter with Punch-Out, though. We aren't gonna be playing on an arcade cabinet. We're gonna be fighting in giant mechs. And our mech is comprised of everybody we've met up to this point, alongside the creation we made in Chapter 1, which is why we picked the Flamehead. But yeah, not getting hit in this fight is also pretty important because there is 3 phases to it, and on the final phase, if we haven't actually taken any damage up to that point, her first attack on the 3rd phase is sped up by quite a lot, so... Yeah. Here's the Queen in all her glory, in her giant mech. Obviously, we were too small to deal with that. And obviously, through the power of friendship and all the friends we quote-unquote have made it through the way, which is like 2 or 3 people, we can build our own mech to stop the Queen herself. Yeah. This fight, it's like any other fight, but like in between our attacks, we're gonna be basically playing Punch-Out with a lot of dodging, so... We obviously want to graze a lot, though, because grazing is more important in this fight than arguably any other fight we've been in. Because we need 50 TP to actually be able to execute our special attack.
Let's go.
Defend right here and immediately hit her. And that immediately starts our second phase of the fight. But thanks to us defending and hitting her while she was attacking, we immediately get another action. And we're just going to power ourselves up with our special attack. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, sometimes when I get to this part of the fight, she'll like kind of throw a fake punch and immediately hit me. Because obviously hitting her in between attacks doesn't completely stun her. Sometimes she'll just like kind of throw like a fake, well, more of like a fake out, and she'll just immediately hit you. And you have like a very small window to dodge it, and I just missed it there. Yeah, that makes this fight a little bit slower, but no pushover. One more. Now she initiates her final attack. We honestly can just do nothing here and we're fine. And with that giant baseball, that is a wrap. All that's left for Chapter 2 now is just 8 minutes worth of cutscenes. 8 minutes of just holding down C and X. And, yeah, there's not really much else to the run now. But I guess this gives me a couple of minutes just to kind of, I guess reflect a bit. I'm gonna be completely honest. yeah. I'm gonna be completely honest. I definitely, I think I could have done a better job of explaining this run, but you know, I think that's just part of me. But yeah, I guess this also gives me a couple minutes to also just shout out a couple people in the community, because there is a lot of passionate people within the Deltarune speedrunning community that, you know, I've I can't speak. Oh my god. There's a lot of cool people. I think names that come to my face right away are obviously Ash Mike the, Woofle D, 30 Aces, obviously Shay, Green Ender, Vintagix, and obviously a lot more. And every now and then we all get together, like, just to like race a category in the Deltarune Discord. It's really fun, and we all just get to goof off, have a laugh, and you know, just have a really good time, honestly. And yeah, I've been running this game for like roughly 6 months since the game came out, or at least when Chapter 2 came out. But I also started running Chapter 1 the moment that came out, and that was the first speedrun I've ever done. So obviously, this game in particular holds a special place in my speedrunning career, but I particularly like this category because I get to do everything. And obviously, when the full game comes out, I can guarantee you I'll be running the all chapters category.
We'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I honestly don't have much else to say. We just have a lot of cutscenes to go through. This is like the one part of the run where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go check my phone. It is simply mash.
Keep on mashing. Chat, let's get some GGs out here for a fun run. And thanks to Sloth for doing this and running through this so well.
Yeah. If anything, it was a pleasure, like, to be here. I do think I was a bit of an awkward mess throughout the entirety of this run, but you know what? It'd be like that. Oh my god. It ain't me if I'm not being awkward in a marathon run, so.
We can appreciate that.
Anyway, with all that cutscene hullabaloo out of the way, we seal up the Chapter 2 fountain. And unlike Chapter 1, we are not going to be spawning inside a random closet in our school, but rather, the library computer lab. And obviously Birdly and Noelle were with us, because they were originally in the computer lab at this time, but funny things happen, and there was a dark world. But yeah, after exiting the library, Susie tags along with us, but while you normally would explore what's happening in the overworld here, we're just gonna go back to our house and not interact with anybody because we don't like interacting with people. But hey, Susie's alright. Susie can tag along. Interact with the sink here. Another minute of just waiting. But time is coming up in approximately 3 minutes, so. Thank you so much, Atitri. I tried. But no, yeah, this run was really good. This run was really good, especially by my standards. Yeah, Chris has a moment here putting their heart in the sink. And they decide to go have some tomfoolery outside the house. But Susie and Tori are kind of having their own fun, so they aren't really noticing anything. But obviously, we don't know the full picture yet, with the full game not being out, but I believe Chris is slashing Toriel's tires. So Toriel is not having a car right now. But I believe it's because they want Susie to spend the night, so. All I know is that when full game releases, I think it is going to be a legendary day. Especially with where Chapter 3 is heading. But yeah, after our little incident, we obviously wash our hands, go pick up our heart again, and go reunite with the two. But yeah, I guess for like the last minute, I guess I'll shamelessly shout myself out. Twitch.tv/SoaringSloth. That's about it. I'm an awkward mess, but hey, you can see me as an awkward mess over there too if you want. Maybe that's your cup of tea.
We appreciate you and your awkward mess.
Thank
you so much for this run.
If anything, thank you for being such an awesome host.
Oh, thank you.